What's going on, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another video. Now, hopefully most of you guys were able to watch the video that I uploaded yesterday, which gave you an opportunity to write an integrated essay about fluoride with the 3 minutes of reading time and 20 minutes of live or real test essay typing time. And while typing that essay, I hope that you guys were able to get a better grasp of what your weaknesses and strengths were, because the first step to achieving your goals is to first really embrace your flaws so that you can address them and make them no longer prohibit you from achieving what you really want. So yeah, hopefully you guys did that. Now, the topic for this integrated writing question was fluoride in drinking water. And if you look at the last sentence of the introduction, it says, thanks to this chemical, the drinking water has been purified and made safer to drink as well. So the reading's opinion is that fluoride, this chemical, is very beneficial to add in drinking water. So the topic is whether or not adding fluoride into the public drinking water supplies in the United States is beneficial. And the listening's opinion is going to be that it's a bad idea to add fluoride in drinking water. So as soon as you notice what the reading's opinion is, you should simultaneously know what the topic and the lecture's opinion both are. Now let's look at the first body paragraph. The primary reason that fluoride is added to drinking water is to prevent the onset of tooth decay. Fluoride achieves this effect by binding with the enamels on people's teeth, which helps the teeth remain healthy. Okay, so that's all I'm going to use for the first body paragraph. Okay, so how I'm going to paraphrase it is, fluoride prevents the onset of tooth decay as it binds with the enamels on our teeth and helps them remain healthy. So that's what I'm gonna be writing down on my piece of paper, and all I basically did was change the sentence structure. So I didn't worry about synonyms just yet. All I did was basically combine the two sentences in the body paragraph into one, because that's the first step to paraphrasing. Just change the grammar, the sentence structure of the sentences that you see in the body paragraph, and then worry about the synonyms when you're actually typing the essay. Understand? Okay, now let's move on to the second body paragraph. Additionally, water treated with fluoride is much purer than untreated water. The reason is that fluoride acts as a cleansing agent. It attacks bacteria and other organisms, essentially removing them from the water. Okay, so that's all I'm going to use for the second body paragraph. And I'm going to paraphrase it like this. Fluoride acts as a cleansing agent due to the fact that it attacks bacteria and other organisms, meaning that water which is purified, or water which is treated with this chemical, tends to be much purer. Okay, now let's move on to the last body. Some scientists have even pointed out that there is a great deal of evidence that fluoride helps improve the bone structures of people who drink water treated with it every day. Studies have proven that these people's bone densities have increased. All right, this is all I'm going to use for the last body paragraph. Okay, so I'm going to probably have these notes written down. Individuals who drink water treated with fluoride prove to have denser and stronger bones. All right, so that's all I'm going to say or write for the third body paragraph. Okay, so before moving on to the lecture, I want to just remind you guys once again. The first step to paraphrasing the reading's notes while reading it for 3 minutes is to just change the sentence structures, either by combining several sentences together or dividing up one extensive, very, very long sentence in the reading passage. And obviously, the latter isn't always going to be guaranteed, because more often than not, the reading passage likes to write very concise and short sentences, which we should be combining together since they tend to be a bit too blocky and short. Understand? All right, now let's listen to the lecture.
Listen to a lecture on the topic you just read about and complete the note diagram.
Many people have described the benefits of drinking water treated with fluoride. However, this issue is not as cut and dry as people have let you believe. Oh no, it's actually rather controversial. In fact, many people, myself included, believe that fluoride's effects can be somewhat detrimental to people. The main argument in favor of fluoride has been its tooth care properties. Countless studies show how much our teeth are being protected by the inserting of fluoride in drinking water. What these studies forget to mention, however, is that practically every brand of toothpaste already has fluoride in it. This means it's totally unnecessary to put fluoride in drinking water. As a matter of fact, many European countries have abandoned adding fluoride to their drinking water. Some, like Sweden and the Netherlands, haven't done so for over 30 years, yet they exhibit no decline in dental health. While fluoride does purify water, it can still lead to harmful side effects if taken in large amounts, since it's a toxic chemical. It has also been noted for discoloring water pipes, and even, get this, dissolving lead, another toxic chemical element, out of the pipes. So, it must be carefully monitored if introduced to the water supply. Actually, there are other safer methods of water purification, such as filtration, the adding of chlorine, and using ultraviolet light. And high levels of fluoride may cause cancer in some people. In several cases, it has been deemed responsible for a rare form of bone cancer called osteosarcomas, which usually only appears in young boys. Fluoride also may cause skeletal fluorosis, a condition caused by excessive fluoride exposure, where fluoride is deposited directly into the bones. This may cause stiffness, pain, and a brittle bone structure prone to fractures.
All right, let's take a look at the lecture's notes. So the professor's opinion is that this issue is not cut and dry. Cut and dry means simple, but rather controversial because fluoride's effects can be very detrimental. So that's the professor's opinion. Now the first argument says that, or the professor first said, that every brand of toothpaste already has fluoride in it. So I wrote have, but I'm going to change it to has, because it says every brand, and every makes the subject always singular. So it is unnecessary to put fluoride in drinking water. For instance, many European countries like Sweden and the Netherlands have not done so, or have not added fluoride into their drinking water for 30 years, but have not experienced any decline in dental health. Okay, now the second argument says there are many harmful side effects to adding fluoride in drinking water. Since it's still a chemical, it can lead to discoloring water pipes and even dissolving lead. In other words, adding fluoride, or the amount of fluoride added to water, has to be carefully monitored. However, there are safer methods to purify water, such as using ultraviolet lights, adding chlorine, and even doing some filtration. So those are other safer methods. Now, the last thing the professor said is that drinking water with too much fluoride, or drinking too much water with fluoride, can lead to a rare form of bone cancer. And it can also lead to, or a rare form of bone cancer that young boys usually get. So that's information that you should be writing down right after the lecture is done. So right after you're done taking notes, because if you wait too long, that short-term memory is gonna decay. Hopefully you remember the task work question about short-term memories that we did not too long ago. Anyways, and drinking too much water with fluoride can also lead to the development of skeletal fluorosis, which causes stiffness, pain, and a brittle bone structure that is more susceptible to fractures and other injuries related to a fragile bone. All right, now that we saw what I took notes on and how I took notes, hopefully it helped you understand how you should be taking notes a little bit better. Yeah, so let's go back to my laptop and look at the finished project. All right, so here we are. Let's look at the sample essay together. The reading passage and lecture have conflicting opinions about whether or not using fluoride to cleanse drinking water is a pragmatic solution. The article strongly postulates that the drinking water in America has become more sanitary and cleaner due to this chemical substance. On the other hand, the listening adamantly delineates that this issue is not cut and dry owing to the fact that it's rather controversial and fluoride's effects can be quite detrimental. All right, cleanse was used for purify, and pragmatic is a synonym of practical. What else did I do? I wrote this chemical substance instead of writing fluoride since I know I'm going to be writing fluoride a lot. And just in case you guys don't know, owing to the fact that is a synonym of because, due to the fact that. All right, let's go to the first body. First and foremost, according to the author of the excerpt, fluoride makes it so that people's teeth are stronger and less susceptible to cavities. In other words, fluoride has a positive influence on the dental health of humans as it binds with the enamel on people's teeth. I don't know why it's so hard to say that word. Nonetheless, the lecturer offsets these points by declaring that. Okay, so that's it for the reading. That's it. You don't have to write too much. Nonetheless, the lecturer offsets these points by declaring that many studies advocate the tooth care properties of fluoride, but they fail to mention that virtually every brand of toothpaste already has fluoride in it. It goes without saying that it's more or less unnecessary to put fluoride in drinking water, as such is the case. Furthermore, many European countries have abandoned adding this chemical into their drinking water supplies. For instance, Sweden and the Netherlands haven't done so for more than 30 years, but their citizens don't exhibit any decline in dental health. All right, so this is basically almost everything that the professor said. You don't need to write this much. As I said before, all you need to do is catch approximately 70% of the lecture's information and you'll be good to go. So don't try to write this much and don't feel bad if you can't write this much. All right, moving on to the second body paragraph. On top of this, the professor in the listening further asserts that adding fluoride in water can lead to a wide array of harmful side effects. Due to the fact that fluoride is a chemical, it can lead to discoloring water pipes and even dissolving lead. Needless to say, the amount of fluoride placed into drinking water has to be carefully monitored. Additionally, there are many other safer methods of water purification such as filtration, adding chlorine, and using ultraviolet lights. Okay, so that's the listening's second argument. Okay, a lot of students make mistakes when typing this section because they don't realize what they have typed. The professor in listening is an indicator of the lecture's information, but since a lot of students just turn off their brains and type the template, they make the mistake of adding the reading's information here, which is quite awkward. All right, so this is going to be the reading's second reason. These claims refute the writer's implications of how fluoride purifies drinking water by acting as a cleansing agent that attacks bacteria and other harmful organisms in the water, a claim that was even supported by the World Health Organization. Okay, now I added this little friend over here since by the time I was done typing the essay, I still had about 8 minutes left. So I just wanted to add more information from the reading passage since I basically said everything possible from the lecture. But I'm gonna delete this because you really don't need it, and it's not a good example. All right, now let's move on to the third body. The text lastly points out that fluoride augments, strengthens, the bone structures of people and increases the density of our bones. That's it. That's all I wrote for the third body paragraph of the reading passage. This is all the lecture. The speaker in the lecture counters these indications by insisting that drinking too much water with fluoride can actually cause a rare form of bone cancer called osteosarcomas, which usually affects young children. Not only this, but if people are exposed to large quantities of fluoride and the chemical is directly injected into their bones, they might even develop a condition called skeletal fluorosis, which causes stiffness and pain. All in all, drinking water with fluoride in it can lead to brittle bone structures that are more prone to fractures. All right, that's my sample essay, guys. So this is the answer sheet. I said it's my sample essay because it's what I personally typed, but this is the answer sheet. It's not something that's expected, all right? This isn't what you need to produce to get high scores in the integrated writing section. All you need is 70% of the lecture, and yeah, well, I didn't write too much information from the reading passage, so in regards to the readings information and paraphrasing the reading passage, yeah, this is what's expected. All right, maybe not as many synonyms or different sentence structures, but the amount of information that I got from the reading passages in this sample essay, or that I included in this sample essay, is just about right. You don't need more than this. And if you have more than this and your typing speed plus accuracy aren't up to par, then you would have wasted a lot of time. So don't include and paraphrase too much information from the reading passage. All right, now in the next video, we're going to be going over independent writing. So if you guys have any topics that you want me to cover in the next video, leave them in the comment section below. All right, see you in the next one. Peace out.